Hello, it's me and my pillows. No, I don't think so. It was comfortable for a minute though. Okay, try to be serious now, sort of, in a way. Um, so I don't really have much new to say. So I think I'll just talk about the positivity and how it can affect our lives negatively. I think it has been spoken about by several psychologists. Maybe I've seen something on TED Talks. Probably, maybe. Um, the dangers of optimism bias and stuff. But also in the context of all this um, magical thinking, the New Age popularity in our days, and this topic has been prompted by some celebrity, a local one that I've seen on TV. Just as I turned on my TV for several minutes to watch the news, it's usually off for days on end. Um, um, it's a new year, so not much news. So instead, it was some celebrity gossip stuff, and they were interviewing one of those uh, new moms, and she's sitting there all serious and talking about how uh, she realized that now she's accomplished something or became a mother, and that she's like fulfilled, or I don't know, self-actualized. And she thinks that whenever a woman, because a woman has a biological clock, she says, and that's like her mission to create another human being. So whenever she feels like she's ready, she should go for it and never think about the possible negative consequences, because she says whenever you feel you're ready, everything will come through. You will find you'll have energy, you will have money, you will have everything you need to bring up that kid. Once you feel you want a kid, just have a kid. It's just of course it's bollocks. It's just unproven assumptions and actually disproven by facts in life. Because when you look at all those many numerous people who have um, their kids and have no money, or have kids who are sick for years or forever, or who have kids and then something bad happens to them, and or they all go broke and then they go and live on the street. Do you seriously think that those people, when they were planning on a kid, that they were thinking, oh gee, I bet my kid is gonna be all miserable. I bet we're gonna run out of money and live on the street in a cardboard box. I really doubt they were thinking that. I bet they were thinking just like you, that once we have a kid, everything will be all right forever and ever. Because God gives a child, God provides for the child. That's one of the saying we have here in Ukraine. And that's total bullshit. Because we see those believers living with 7 kids in a 2-room apartment at best, yeah. So the way God chooses to provide for the child is kind of a peculiar way, because it wouldn't conform to any standards of modern living. Like you wouldn't get a kid from foster care if you said, yeah, I got 6 kids and me and my wife are living on welfare, but give us just another one because we just quite like it. We like having lots of kids running around the house, and we like to keep them on a strict diet and have them wear each other's clothes and stuff. So, no, that's not how it works, and bad things happen to good people. They probably happen to bad people as well, because, I mean, it's just kind of chaotic and shit, probably. So just by thinking positively, you're not You're not preventing negative, dangerous things from happening. You're just denying that they can happen, and they can happen. And having a child is like taking a loan for at least 18 years, sometimes longer. These days, kids cannot find work for a certain period of time, stick with their parents. So you're just basically taking a loan, and you're saying, yes, I will pay off that loan. I guarantee that I will have enough money to pay that loan every month, okay, to support yourself and your child. So, I mean, this is how this positive thinking actually is doing harm, because it gives false hopes to people who should be more realistic. It's not too much to ask from parents to be more down to earth and realistic, because you can't feed a child with positive thinking, hopes and dreams and aspirations and positive energy and visualizations and whatever. You gotta have steady income, and you better have some money in your bank account, and lots of other things that you can think of for the future that will give you some guarantees. And if you are yourself, between jobs now and then, struggling to pay the bills sometimes, can't afford much for yourself, why the hell would you have a kid? You're not a very good example, right, to follow. You can't lead by example and say, hey, I'm standing firmly on my both feet on this earth. I know how to live here. I know how to make money. I know how to secure good health care, good living conditions for myself and my family. So I'm going to have a kid. I'm going to teach him how to do it. I'm going to leave also some of my things that I made for this kid already as a basis, right? So he doesn't have to live on the street or rent an apartment once he's on his own or something like that. But no, most of the parents is just like gamble. And I mean, of course, even if you're a rich guy, yeah, you're rich today, you're not rich tomorrow, but at least it's some sort of already a trend. It has been a trend in your life that you knew how to make money. It has been, you have it now at least, okay, for a certain period of time. Maybe you're secure if you have some brains, right? So then you will have some money saved here and there, and you won't go completely like destitute. Like a lot of people go from just moderately poor to fucking destitute, and take their kids with them. And there was an image on Facebook, some meme, making the rounds of parents walking with a kid, and both parents have only one shoe. And the logical question is, yeah, if it was all you had, why the fuck did you make another person to witness your misery? Why the fuck did you drag another person to witness how poor you are? Okay? Oh, God, this is just horrible. In real life, I just, I understand why people do this and that and whatever, but, it's one thing to realize it rationally, another thing to the visceral reaction you have to that. And it's sort of like a visceral reaction. You see some kid torturing a kitty, and you just want to fucking kill the kid, okay? At that moment when you're witnessing that, because you see somebody who's smarter, somebody who is stronger, abusing somebody who is weaker, like a cat, a kitty. And at that moment you just feel you want to kill a kid, right? You're not going to do that, but you feel such a strong hatred towards that kid. And at the same moment you realize, yeah, why he's doing it? Well, it's almost a sure fact that he is being abused by his parents, because that's what those children do. They feel they get abused, and they feel powerless and scared, and in pain and suffering, because their parents beat them up and abuse them psychologically and physically. So they find even weaker creatures, and they start doing what's being done to them. So rationally, you can't really hate those children for what they're doing, because they also have reason to be to do these monstrous things. But it's not what they wish to be or ever dreamt of being just out of the blue, right? This happy kid walking down the street and they're just saying, "Oh, why don't I be a cat torturer? It just sounds like fun. So much more funny than, playing a video game or something." No, I don't think that's how that happened, but the visceral reaction is this. And it's the same with parents who abuse their kids, or parents who abuse their kids by having them. Yeah, so that's that. Positive fucking thinking. It's good for, for people to get through life like that to a certain extent, right? Until it starts distorting reality completely. It's good to have hopes and not to be always down, and whenever something bad happens, to hope for the best. Uh, it keeps you going, I agree. It's a good thing, but I mean, it's a two-edged sword, right? We fix one problem, make somebody feel better about themselves when they're really in deep shit, and we create another problem because they feel better about themselves and they're not in touch with reality anymore, because they don't think they're in deep shit anymore. They think they're on the way to triumph and being rich and powerful and beautiful and happy. They create another person to take them on this wonderful journey with themselves, right? So um, I can always almost remember from my life, maybe what was it, like 7 years ago or more, 10 years ago. Damn, I'm so old. um, when I could imagine myself having a kid one day. And of course, just like all those other people who are not thinking really through this decision, who are not thinking past, well, you are thinking past, maybe you can imagine your kid being 18, but your mind is mostly concentrated on the little kid, right? Okay, I have a husband and little kids. It's going to be also fun. Then the kids goes to school. It's also so fun. Everything's so fun and so good. And the relationships that you're going to have with your kid and the things you're going to teach your kid and shit. Yeah, so that's all very nice. That's what you imagine when you're thinking about having a kid. You're not thinking that, oh, what am I gonna do if my kid falls ill? How am I gonna feel? Will I have the resources to cope? What if my kid contracts a deadly disease, right? How am I gonna cope with that? Have I seen the statistics on, how healthy kids are these days and blah, 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 and not thinking that you're actually sending your kid eventually to the grave, just like yourself. And what will be the cause of death of your child? Yeah, maybe will not be a child by that time, but how would you like your child to die? That's a good question to ask yourself, because most people probably think it would be good. Yeah, I would not like my child to die, yeah, but if they have to, and they have to, right? We all know that. There's one sure thing we can all predict for our kids. One, they're gonna die. Okay? So how would you like them to die? Okay, well, in their sleep when they're already 80 years old and they've accomplished everything, had a very good life. Well, that's not how most people die. Most people die, what now? It differs for different countries, but I bet it's cancer and it's heart disease and it's some nasty diseases that like Alzheimer's and whatever that can torture you for years before you die. It's not a very good experience. And okay, when we think that somebody's been tortured at 80 years old, maybe it's not so horrible, right? Although it is horrible. I mean, if you imagine your parents and you feel sympathy, right? Because people are weak at this age and you don't want anything to happen to them either. So what is the best age for having those diseases? It's the best age is never. And kids they get cancer, they get all sorts of nasty diseases. And it's not what we think about. Think about positive stuff, and we hope that only positive things will happen to children, but it's unfortunately not true. Just because we want that doesn't make it true. Because again, I mean, who in their right mind would say that some people wish cancer on their children or something, or it just happens to good people every day. And unless you want to be one of them or have a risk of being one of them, don't have a kid. But I'm not saying that anybody should, but I mean, if it's done, it's done. I wouldn't blame anybody who's done it already. It's no point doing that. And also, I don't believe that people really have a choice. When they make a choice, it's the only choice they could have made with the knowledge that they had and in the situation in which they were. We are just a product of our environment, and we always make the best choice available to us. So I wouldn't be blaming parents for becoming parents, but I'm just thinking that prospective parents should think twice, just like I accidentally thought twice, yeah, okay, because I could have become a parent myself, and if I was religious, I would have thanked God that I haven't, and I'm not going to, unless, I can become maybe adoptive parents to somebody at some point. Maybe it's just not excluded completely. It's might happen or something like that. But I'm just so happy I'm not gonna be responsible for bringing anybody into this existence. Because when you really scrutinize it, it's just so not worth it. And of course, it's your personal assessment, but what just does it for me is that when you don't have a kid, there is nobody to regret not having been brought into the world. Okay, so there's no problem for those who do not exist that do not exist. So why should I think twice about that? I shouldn't. I'm not hurting anybody in the non-existence by not bringing them here. Otherwise, everybody would be trying to get as many kids as possible out of this horrible non-existence where they reside and just waiting to be born. We don't think like that. That's not how we act. We just want kids for our own indulgence. How many we want, that many we have, and that's period. Nobody is worrying about the non-existent potential kids. That's basically the point. Yeah, I'm just running the risk of going into the circles of this, thinking about the same stuff, talking the same stuff. So I wanted to make a new video update. It's not exactly a new topic, and I just feel like I'm a bit tired talking about it, maybe. But it doesn't mean that, that I'm not interested anymore or that I don't support the views. Obviously, I do. It's just that I don't feel compelled to be talking about the same points over and over again. They are on YouTube, they are on my blog. Maybe I'll write something new when I think of something new, but so far it's been the same shit. So that's it. That's my crisis of creativity. I'm kidding. What creativity? Okay, I should just go to sleep. 2:37. Woohoo. Okay, bye.